All right, next up, Thursday night, we've got Sam Houston State and Liberty. I haven't done one of these in a while, so I'll do it. Liberty. There we go. 19 and a half point home favorites here for Liberty. 47 and a half the total in this one. So Sam Houston State, my condolences to anyone that had the Bearkats last week. Bearkats with a K, by the way, when it comes to Sam Houston State. That's brutal. Okay, and I had no business winning with Jacksonville State last week. None. Zero. So, and I'm okay admitting it. I had a wrong side, and I cashed a ticket. That's the way I look at it. If you had Sam Houston State, you deserved the money last week in that game. It's a horrible beat. You're up. You're basically leading the whole game, and then you end up losing in overtime. Not only losing the game straight up in overtime, you lose the money ATS as well if you had 6.5 only on Sam Houston State. That's just
there's a couple like that. Duke hurt. That looked like a money line winner maybe, and the cover, and then you don't get the cover just like that.
Yeah, that's how it can happen. It just reminds me of the witching hour. What they always, Scott Hansen always says it on the NFL Red Zone channel. You know, it's like when wins turn to losses and losses turn to wins. Yeah, no shit. Yeah, the final moments of a football game. Doesn't matter if it's NFL or college football. Witching hour in many college football venues last week with the betting results at the end. And Sam Houston and Jacksonville State was definitely one of them. I still worry about the offense. Now, I know they put together, finally, Sam Houston State, and they went back to Shoemaker at quarterback. They had Gunnell, the Arizona-Memphis transfer, in the 2 weeks ago, and they went back to Shoemaker at quarterback last week. And, look, he played better, much more efficient. His completion rate was very good. But then in the second half, it went back to the same old Sam Houston State offense we saw most of the season. Couldn't move the football, only scored a touchdown. And then once it got into the fourth quarter, they did nothing on offense and nothing in overtime. It was a quick Jacksonville State got the opening possession, break down the field with the touchdown, and then quick 3-and-out for Sam Houston State. And Jacksonville State wins the game in overtime. So I'm still not sold on this offense, but you don't have to be sold on their offense to take them in this kind of price range. You know, you are talking 19 and a half points. It's a lot of points here for Liberty to be laying here in this game. There's no doubt they're the better team, and you have a 4-0 team matched up against a 0-4 team in this one. You got Liberty that's won and covered, I believe, each and every game this year, 4-0 straight up, 4-0 against the spread, each victory by double digits, Bowling Green by 10. And that Bowling Green win, by the way, looks a little more impressive after seeing what Bowling Green did to Georgia Tech on Saturday, a stunner last week. So all of a sudden beating Bowling Green, you thought maybe before last week, that's no big deal. Bowling Green goes into Georgia Tech, beats the Yellow Jackets. So that win means a little more. They win by 16 against New Mexico State, 4 touchdowns at Buffalo, and then a 38-6 beatdown over FIU in their last game. So I'm not sure I want to step in front of Liberty, but you are talking a lot of points. And the one thing about Sam Houston is, you know, they can play defense. And it's funny, the week they finally get their offense going, Conor Mack, the defense falls apart on them. Couldn't stop Jacksonville State, and it was the defense for Sam Houston that was keeping them in all these games in the early part of the season. So I worry. I mean, if that defense, if I can get the defense that I saw against Air Force, you know, and a few of those teams early in the season, BYU, if I can get that Sam Houston defense that I saw in those games, then I might be interested in taking the points. But if I'm going to get the Sam Houston defense I saw last week, where Jacksonville State, once they got it going, they went up and down the field against Sam Houston, that's not going to get it done against Liberty. Liberty's a very balanced offense. Jamie Chadwell's one of the best offensive-minded head coaches in college football. They're averaging 6 yards per rush, 271 rushing yards per game. And if you actually look at the Sam Houston defensive numbers, they've actually been very good against the pass, but the run has been a different story. 184 yards per game allowed on the ground, 4.6 yards per carry. I'm tempted to look over the total here, 47.5. Buy in that maybe Shoemaker and the offense got a little something going last week against Jacksonville State, and that maybe they can carry that over. Signs of life from a dormant offense last week in the loss to Jacksonville State. But I don't know if they're going to stop Liberty. And Liberty's putting up big points, C-Mac, 34, 33, 55, 38 in their 4 games. And total's only at 47.5. If Liberty gets their season average into the 30s, you're only going to need like 13, 14 points from Sam Houston to get over the total. So that might be what I look toward, more so the total in this game. Conor, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I was shocked as anyone with Sam Houston. That offense is just, I was like, is this a totally different guy in Shoemaker? I mean, he threw for like 285. They had 435, I think, total offense in that game. But you're right, the second half just kind of went back to the old ways a little bit. That's one thing. Can they do this on the road? I get if you've been on Liberty, it's just hard to jump off now. They've just been cashing for you. Salter's been good. You touched on, I want to bring it up. Jamie Chadwell's just done well with this program. It seems like they get around 500 total yards every week. But I think the number's creeping out here. Maybe last week Sam Houston at home was all right with them. They hit the road again. I wish this was a little over 3 touchdowns, but I lean the dog here a little bit with Sam Houston. Take the point.
All right, leaning towards Sam Houston State. Like I said, I'm leaning over. Again, check the weather. We'll see what it's like for this game Thursday night there, but definitely leaning toward points because, like I say, Liberty's been getting 30. And, again, Sam Houston's defense, terrific. But the last two, that's not just the Jacksonville State game, by the way, Connor. It's the Houston game, too, where Sam Houston defensively just got carved up. So starting to worry that defense when they match up against teams with good offensive scheme, good game plan, good offensive teams like a Liberty, they're going to struggle. And I worry about that here. That's why I think the over could get there, and hoping that Keegan Shoemaker and what we saw from him at quarterback for Sam Houston last week, improvement on offense, significant improvement, can continue here in this game against Liberty. And you mentioned Jamie Chadwell. I did as well, Connor, and the job he's doing here at Liberty. All you have to do is look at Coastal Carolina and look what they're doing this year and see how much they miss him there with because to me, you look at Coastal, they don't look like the same team without Jamie Chadwell either this year. So definitely when you look at these programs here, definitely situations where, it's just they miss him. Make no mistake about it here with Coastal Carolina. He did a great job there. He's going to be one of those coaches probably that everywhere he goes, he's going to end up doing a good job. He's going to be one of those guys that we can count on. I mean, look at Coastal in the Sun Belt right now. They're 2-3 overall, but 0-2 in conference play. And I said this all summer. I'm not a Tim Beck fan. This is a downgrade as far as I'm concerned, coaching-wise. Jamie Chadwell to Tim Beck, and it's playing out that way. Coastal's down, and look at what Liberty's doing with Chadwell there now. That tells you all you need to know so far with that.